Good morning students, my name is Keshavi. I am working in Target English Medium School as English subject teacher. Last week I explained the key of Grand Testable, but question number 35 was not explained. Question number 35 is framing WH questions. It has a choice. It is analytical paragraph, means write a paragraph about the diagram. Here the passage was given from the lesson journey, framing WH questions, framing WH questions. So before framing WH questions, let us know what are the question words. WH question words. WH question words are first what. It is used to know the specific information. What is used to know the specific information. Who is used to know the performer, person or persons. It denotes the subject. Whom is used to know the person or person. It denotes object. Whose denotes possession. Whose denotes possession. So which is used to know the object, bird, animal, thing, idea, etc. The question word how is used to know the manner of action. How many is used to know the countable quantity. It means to question the countable quantity. How much is used to know the uncountable quantity. How much is used to know the uncountable quantity. How far is used to know the distance. How far is used to know the distance. How long is used to know the duration of the time. How long is used to know the duration of the time. The question word where is used to know the place. The question word when is used to know the time of action. The question word why is used to know the reason. To know the reason. The question word how old is used to know the age. The question word whence is used to know the action where it began. Here, before framing WH questions in any passage, read the underlined part of the sentence. Here, underlined part of the sentence. Having walked fast, I was tired. Moreover, I had to cross 2 hills. Here, the first sentence. It is noun phrase. 2 hills noun phrase. So it was underlined. It was underlined. So it is the clue. It gives clue to frame the question. It's what? 2 hills. Then next, read the part of the sentence which was not underlined. That is, I had to cross 2 hills. I had to cross 2 hills. Next, change the sentence into yes or no question. Did I have to cross 2 hills? Did I have to cross hills? Here I refers to the narrator, or you ask he. Did he have to cross 2 hills? Next, use the appropriate question word. Here, the appropriate question word is what? What did he have to? What did the narrator have to cross? What did the narrator have to cross? How many hills did he have to cross? We get the answer. We get the answer. If we frame the question using the appropriate question word, the underlined part should be the answer. The underlined part should be the answer. Here I used the question word. What did he have to cross? What did he have to cross? I get the answer. 2 hills. Or how many hills did he have to cross? We get the answer. 2 hills. Next, second one. On a rock. On a. It is a prepositional phrase. It is a prepositional phrase. On is preposition, rock object. So it follows object. Here, on a rock. Then the appropriate question word is where. You get the answer on a rock. Where. Here, read the part of the sentence which was not underlined. I quickly sat down on a rock. I quickly sat down. Then frame the sentence. Change the sentence into yes or no. Did I quickly sit down on a rock? Did I quickly sit down on a rock? Next, use the appropriate question word. Where? We get the answer. Where did he quickly sit down? Where did he quickly sit down? We get the answer Amira. Next, third one. On the can of homemade wine. On the can of homemade wine that I was carrying. On the can of homemade wine that I was carrying. So it is also prepositional phrase. It is also prepositional phrase. On the can of. Then the appropriate question word is where. Read the part of the sentence which was not underlined. His eyes fell. His eyes fell. Where did his eyes fall? We get the answer. The answer is on the can of homemade wine that I was carrying. So the question is where did his eyes fall? Next, wetting his lips with his tongue. With his tongue. It is a prepositional phrase. It was underlined. Next, read the part of the sentence which was not underlined. Wetting his lips. How did he wet his lips? How did he wet his lips? The answer is how did he wet his lips? With his tongue. With his tongue. Or with what did he wet his lips? With what did he wet his lips? So we get the answer with his tongue. The last one, he said in a matter of fact. He said in a matter of fact manner, I am thirsty. I am thirsty. The whole sentence was underlined. Then use the appropriate question word what. We get the answer. What did he say in a matter of fact? What did he say in a matter of fact manner? We get the answer. I am thirsty. So in this way we have to frame the picture questions. First, read the part of the sentence which was underlined. Read the part of the sentence which was not underlined. Change the statement into yes or no question. Then use appropriate question word. So if you use the appropriate question word, you get the answer. The answer should be the underlined part. Here the first question is what did the narrator have to cross, or what did he have to cross, or how many hills did he have to cross? Where did he quickly sit down? Second question. Where did his eyes fall? Third question. How did he wet his lips? What did he say in a matter of fact manner? So next, it has choice. That is analytical paragraph or write a paragraph about the diagram. So what are the clues to write analytical paragraph? So what is the format? First, observe the diagram. The diagram may be pie chart, table, graph, or tree diagram. First, observe the diagram. Next, introduction. Write the diagram. Write one or two lines, one or two sentences about the diagram. What does the diagram show? For example, the diagram. If the diagram is pie chart, what does the pie chart show? What does the pie chart show? How many sectors was the pie chart divided into? Next, what is the percentage? Which is highest? Which is lowest? Which two are same? And finally, conclusion. So, what is the format? First, introduction. Introduction means here write one or two sentences about the diagram. Next, after introduction, body. Hence, write what are the things in it, percentage, comparison, next finally conclusion. So it is very easy. Writing paragraph about the diagram is very easy compared to WH questions. So I request the students, so whichever is easy to you can attempt. Next, grand test 2. I explain grand test 2 key. Here first, grand test 2, section A, reading comprehension. It carries 30 marks. So this passage was given from the dear departed one, the dear Departed One. So it is a drama, social drama. Part 1. The questions. So I explain the answers. Before you answer the questions, read the passage very carefully. Sometimes the answer may be in the above paragraph or in the below paragraph. So you may not get the answer in the passage. It means the answer may be in the above paragraph. So first read the lesson very carefully. Next, here, first question: what can you understand about the character of Mrs. Slater from this conversation? From this conversation, what can you understand the character of Mrs. Slater? What is the answer here? She is mean in nature. She is greedy, dishonest, overpowering, and dominating. So she is mean in nature. She is greedy, dishonest, overpowering, and dominating nature. Okay, next, what can you understand about the character of Henry? What can you understand about the character of Henry? He is honest and straightforward. He does not like to steal others' things. He is submissive. The third answer is C. I would not care. To. Fourth answer C. Don't look so daft. Why not? Fifth answer is B. Her greedy and miserly behavior. Next, question number 6 to 8. One stanza is given from a poem. Here the poem is a plea for India. So one stanza was given from the poem A Plea for India. Let us unite and fight against those inside. Let us not be misled by those who want to see us dead. We are a strong united nation. All we need is a bit of dedication. Here, sixth question. Who should we fight against? Answer B. Our enemies who encourage somebody to be violent against us. Seventh answer B. A bit of dedication. Eighth answer A. We should unitedly fight against our enemies and people who mislead us. Question 9 to 10. This passage was given from B reading. First unit B reading. Every success story is also a story of great failures. Here, ninth question: name the newspaper mentioned in the passage. What is the newspaper? New York Times. 10th question: where did they take their famous flight? Answer A. 10th answer A. 9th answer B. 10th answer A at Kitty Hawk. Next, question 11 to 15. So this is a table, study skills. Table was given. So observe the table carefully and answer. Here 11th answer is B. 11th answer B. 12th answer A. 13th answer B. 14th answer A. 15th answer B. Next, section B, grammar and vocabulary. It carries 40 marks. Question number 16 to 32. Question number 16 to 32. So section B, grammar and vocabulary carries 40 marks. Here 16th sentence. Combine the following sentences using which? Combine the following sentences using which? Yeah, I'm writing on the board. Sixteenth sentence. Combine the following sentences using which? We lived in our ancestral house. We lived in our ancestral house. It was built It was built in the middle of the 19th century. We lived in our ancestral house. It was built in the middle of the 19th century. Which combine the two sentences using which. So which is a relative pronoun. Which is a relative pronoun. So it is used to know the object, things, ideas, okay, birds, animals, etc. Here we lived in our ancestral house. It was built in the middle of the 19th century. The answer is which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It is a relative clause. So which is the relative pronoun? Here, which relative pronoun it denotes, which refers to our ancestral house. Which refers to ancestral house. Antecedent means noun. Here, which refers to our ancestral house. So we live in our ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. So this is the answer. Next, here which is the relative pronoun? So which indicates or which denotes is a place, house. 17. Change the following sentence into passive voice. Give me an old maid. Give me an old maid. So it is active voice. We have to change the sentence into passive voice. It is imperative sentence. Imperative sentences begin with verb, main verb. Here the subject is you, hidden. The subject was hidden. Here the subject is you. You give me an old page. You give me an old page. Okay, here there are two objects. One is direct and other is direct object. First, if it is imperative sentence, okay, how to change into passive voice? Begin with the word let. Let the direct object, let an old page. Let an old page be. Add the word be in imperative sentence. Let an old page be. Give. What is the past participle form of give? Given. Let an old page be given to me. Let an old page be given to me. Let an old page be given to me. Or let me be given. Let me be given an old baby. So both are correct. So I think the first one is very easy. So I request the students write this one. Let an old baby be given to me, or let me be given an old baby. Next, combine the following sentences using though. Here it is one. Combine the two sentences using though. Adverbial clause of concession. It is adverbial clause of concession. We booked a holiday. We had very little money. We had very little money. Here, add the conjunction, adverbial conjunction. Here, conjunction though to the second sentence. Although we had very little money, we booked a holiday. Then it should be meaningful. Don't add the conjunction though to the first sentence. Okay. So the answer is although. We had very little money, we booked a holiday. Next, fill in the blanks with suitable prepositions given in the brackets. Fill in the blanks with suitable prepositions. Here, 19th A, answer according to 19th B, agree to. Here, agree with is used for person. Agree with, I agree with him. Agree to the ideas. If it is idea, use agree to. So, if it is a person, agree with. For example, I agree with you. I agree with you. Next, if it is idea, I agree to your proposal. I agree to your proposal. So, 19th B is 2. Next, 20. Fill in the blanks with suitable forms of verb. So, appropriate verb forms. Appropriate verb forms. Here, it's a time. Here, it's a time plus a subject plus it's a time plus subject plus verb in past tense. Verb in past tense. It's a time. Already it is late. The work should be completed. It is late. Then in this situation we use it's a time or it's a high time plus subject plus verb in past tense. So answer is it's a time you had. What is the past tense of have? Had. It's a time you had your haircut. It's a time you had your haircut. Already it was late. You did not cut your hair. So already it is late. So cut. So in this situation you use subject. It's a time plus subject plus verb in past tense. Next. I live in Hyderabad for 10 years. Here for 10 years. For preposition it denotes period of time. Since it denotes point of time, for denotes period of time. So the verb may be either present perfect continuous tense or present perfect. Present perfect. So the answer is I have been living in Hyderabad for 10 years. I have been living or I have been living or I have lived. I have been living or I have lived. Here. I So either have been living, I have been living, or have lived in Hyderabad for 10 years. So next we will change the following sentence into next 21 is advice. Give advice. Your friend's handwriting is illegible. Advise him to write neatly. To give advice, use the modal verb should. Use the modal verb should. The answer is my dear friend, you should write neatly. Answer is my dear friend, you should write neatly. You should write neatly. Next 22. Change the following sentence into polite request. Change the following sentence into polite request. So what is the sentence? You to the clerk at post office, give me an envelope. You to the clerk at post office, give me an envelope. Give me an envelope is order. You should not order anyone. Ask, you should ask politely. To ask more politely, use the modal verb could. So what is the answer? Could you please give me an envelope? Could you please give me an envelope? Or it has another answer. Would you mind giving me? Would you mind giving me an envelope? Would you mind giving me an envelope? So both are correct. Next, what do the following sentences mean? Choose the correct answer. Oh, so that's why you are all in there today. The interjection oh denotes confirmation. Oh, the interjection oh denotes confirmation. So the suitable answer is confirmation. So against the answer confirmation, put a tick mark. Next, damn it, I never had done. The damn it, this word denotes annoyance. Damn it, what the Dickens, what the devil. These words denotes annoyance. So the answer is annoyance. Put a tick mark against the answer. Next, synonyms. Meanings were given in the box. Words were underlined. The first one is purpose means use. First meaning purpose means use. Next, second word purpose means aim. Third one triumph means victory. And adversity means difficulty. So 24th passage answer. First meaning use, second meaning aim, third meaning victory, fourth meaning difficulty. Next, question number 25. Opposite words. So words were underlined in the passage. Rigid, different, orthodox, educated. So you have to match the following. So under column A, words are given. Under column B, opposite words are given. First, what is the opposite word of rigid? Rigid, flexible. So 5. Next, different, same. 6th, different, same. Orthodox, unconventional. Educated, uneducated. So 5, 6 to 1. So rigid opposite word flexible. Different opposite word same. Orthodox, unconventional, educated, uneducated. Next 26. Fill in the blanks with the right form of the words given in brackets. So it is a textual paragraph. Okay, Lakshmana Shastri summoned the teacher, and in our presence, the answer is presently. So the correct answer is presence. Told the teacher that he should not poison social inequality and communal. The answer is communal. Second answer is communal. Intolerance in the minds of innocent children. Innocent. Third answer is innocent. The fourth answer. And asked the teacher to either apologize. Fourth answer is apologize. So first answer presence. Second answer communal. Third answer innocent. Fourth answer apologize. Next question number 27. Spellings. Complete the spellings with IE, EA, EI, AI, or IA. Vowel clusters. Diphthongs. So what is the spelling of peace? EA. So in the blank, use the letters EA. Next, second one, sustainable AI. Sustainable AI. Next, 28. Suffixes. Complete the words with corrective suffix. So 28. A. First one is ANCE. ANCE. Second answer FUL. Full. FUL. Single L. Next, question number 29. Wrongly spelled word. Find out the wrongly spelled word and write the correct spelling. Here, occurrence. OCCURANCE. Here, the spelling OCCURENCE is wrong. So, what is the correct spelling? Occurrence. OCCURENCE. Occurrence. Next, computer. What is the spelling given? Computer. COMPUTER. It is wrong. So, what is the correct spelling? COMPUTER. Next, question number 30. Dictionary entry. Read the word. So, read the word. Here, phonetic symbols were also given. Phonetic transcription. Vigorous. The part of speech is adjective. Two meanings were given. One is very active, determined, or full of energy. Second meaning is strong and healthy. Strong and healthy. Synonyms were also given. What is the synonym? Energetic. It is energetic. Vigorous means energetic. A vigorous campaign against tax fraud. A vigorous opponent of the government. Take vigorous exercise means sentences were also framed. Next, vigorously adverb. Now answer the questions. Write two different shades of meanings of the word. So what are the two meanings of the word vigorous? One is very active, determined, or full of energy. Second one is strong and